Welcome back to the channel. It's only been a week since last time I was out in the lakes, but I was in desperate need of getting back out again. So here I am. I've come back to some woods. I've had a few camps here. In fact, only a couple of videos ago, I was here in the Bivvy. I was chucking it down. But today, as you can see, it's gorgeous. And what I'm going to do today is get the hammock up. And for anybody who's interested, I'm going to talk about the differences, the pros and the cons between the hammock and a bivvy camp for in the woods, because there's some significant differences. It's only really the second time I've been out in the hammock. Last time it was extremely comfortable, but it is a little bit more complicated to put up, get sorted. I'm tripping over my words. I'm gonna have a coffee, try and sort my my language skills out, decide where I'm going to try and put the hammock. There's a couple of options, and then I'll get back and try and explain what I've done, if I can. I hope all that made sense. It's not started well, has it? I'll try to improve. I can only improve from now, yeah? It can only be improvement. So, right, see you soon. So, these are my thoughts. I like these two trees here. It's a nice distance. There's no real widow makers above. I know that looks like it on camera, but there's nothing really directly above me to drop on my noggin. But the problem is it's going to be more exposed to the wind. I'm going to have to sort of more of an A-frame out with the tarp. And the other option would be where I always camp with my bivvy, between these two trees here, which is probably a better pitch. It gives me a really good view. That'd be nice. That'd be real nice, wouldn't it? But, oh look. All of that. That's where the ticks live. Last time I came here, I got 4 ticks. I took 4 ticks home out of there. But look at that. Do I risk ticks? Decisions. voila. It's French for something, I'm not too sure what, but there's my hammock. There's a setup. It's took a while. It's took a lot longer than just rolling my bivvy bag out, but she's looking good. Come with me and I'll show you around. Right, here we go. So, as I mentioned in that other video quickly, we've got a DD frontline hammock, with a DD under blanket and a DD tarp. All DD, that's what, 6 DDs, it's a DD setup. And then I'm using traditional sticks. Oh yes, 2 of. Just to prop it open a little bit, just so I've got a good view of that. Which is nice. Should see the sun go down soon. Be nice. But because there's quite a breeze coming from over there, I've got little things just to help me out when I want to bring that tarp down and make it a little bit more weather tight, wind resistant. Again, I'm running with the overhead line, your ridge line, and I've just used prusik knots along the top just to get it nice and taut. I haven't put the ridge line underneath yet, but I will do, just so I can have my lantern up there. And that's about it. It is pretty simple to set up. It's just it's doing it and getting used to doing it. But hopefully it should be nice and cozy. Got my sleeping bag in there ready. So it's about 5 o'clock now. It's nearly October, and as soon as that sun drops, it's going to get cool. In fact, it's been pretty cold the last couple of nights. So I'm going to have a fire tonight. I'm going to collect some firewood, prepare it all properly, dig a hole in the ground, and tomorrow I'll mulch it all over, dig it out, spread it out, cover it over, and hopefully it'll look like I've not been here. So that's the job now. I'm going to try and get the drone up and get a little bit of drone footage, although there's not anything to see but trees. But somebody on one of the hammock forums has asked how well it can be seen from a distance, so I'll have a look. I'll see what I can see with the drone. So I'm going to do that, and I'll get back. I shall see you in a little bit. Time's gone nowhere. I've had to rush for the light. The camera actually looks like it's more light than it is, but the sun's gone down, or it's going down, and I've had to get a rush on. So instead of being able to show you what I'm doing and show you a bit of the limited bushcraft knowledge I've got, I've just had to do it. Otherwise I wouldn't have got fed tonight. I've had to chop wood, process it, get myself a little fire going. That's all tickety-boo now. Temperature's dropping massively already, so I'm glad I've got the fire. The whole point in this video was, one, to get out and try and unwind before I'm back at work, but two, to go through the differences between the bivvy and the hammock. Really, it's just been a lot more hassle with a hammock. That's probably because I'm just not used to it. It's only the second time I've put it up. It just seemed to take forever tonight. Whereas the bivvy is just super quick. Just throw it down. Comfort wise, I think they're both really comfy. I'm really comfy in the bivvy. On my air mattress, the Seated Summit I've got with the Z light underneath, and I'm always really comfortable. I always have a good night in the bivvy. But then again, the hammock, when I was in the lakes last week, that was an incredible sleep. Didn't even have earplugs in. Just felt more at one with nature, at one with the woodland. It was fantastic. So I'm hoping the same goes for tonight. Temperature wise, the bivvy's warm. You know, it's almost too warm when you've got a winter sleeping bag. Whereas this, I was a little bit, I wouldn't say chilly, but I wasn't as warm as I normally am. But I think that's something to do with the underblanket. I've maybe had that too tight. I know you're supposed to have air underneath to allow it to warm up. So we'll have a play with that tonight. So yeah, they're the differences really. Bivvy, super quick. I would say stealthy. Your bivvy goes anywhere, and you can have your tarp really low down on the ground. I'll try and put some pictures on from my last camp, and I mean you can camp on the edge of a field. You can camp anywhere with the bivvy and a little tarp. You don't even need your tarp really with the Dutch bivvy. It's supposedly waterproof, but I would rather have a tarp. Whereas this is quite a big setup. It's well hidden, you know, with all the camo tarp, etc. But it's still quite a big setup, so not as stealthy. So they're your pros and cons, really. Both cheap options. Obviously, when I go up on the fells, with all the light kit, you pay for lightness and warmth, so that's expensive. That's cost me a lot of money to get all that gear sorted. But the bushcrafty type gear, your milsurp and tarps and stuff, they're not as bad. They are going up in price because I think more people are getting into the outdoors, but they're nowhere near as priced as some of the top level hiking mountain gear that you can buy. So anyway, I'm waffling. I'm going to relax, have my bushcraft noodles. Slight change today. I'm going to have corned beef in them instead of sausage. Wild, I know. And then I'm going to have a beer. I'm going to have a beer, Faith in Futures, to celebrate. And I'll see what the night brings. I might come back on the camera, I might not. It's one of them nights. I'm just going to see how I feel. So I don't see you in a little while. I'll get back in the morning if I survive the night, and I'll let you know how it goes. So until then, I'll see you in a little bit. Good morning. Another fantastic night. I gotta say, this thread of something there. This hammock camping is quickly becoming my favourite type of camping. I mean, it's not. It's not. I love being up the fells. There's nothing like being on top of a mountain and waking up there and watching the sun set up there, and well, it's the lakes, isn't it? I love the lakes and the highlands. But there's something very special about being in the woods and waking up in a hammock, listening to all the little animals and the birds, and just being surrounded by pine trees. Went to sleep with the smell of the pine wood on the fire, and woke up with it again this morning. It's really nice. So it's definitely a thumbs up for the hammock camping. Again, there's positives and negatives between the hammock and the bivvy. The bivvy is cosy. I like the bivvy for that. But once you're in it, you kind of, you're in your little cocoon and that's it. So maybe the bivvy for colder weather. I don't know. I'll just mix and match. They're all good fun. So I want to get up, stretch. Excuse me. Tidy the fire away. Make sure it's all completely cold. Mulch it up. Spread it out. Cover it over. So it doesn't look like it's been here yet. I'm gonna have a coffee, and then I'll think about tidying away. I might just hang around for a bit, literally. Just dangle. Nice place to be. No rush. So, I'll crack on, and I will speak in a little while. So, as you can see, although it was cold to the touch, once I dug underneath, there's still a lot of heat there, and I think that's where people make a lot of mistakes. They'll think the fire's out, they'll go, and then days, even weeks later, it can get into the peat, and it can flare back up. It can travel. It can cause all sorts of nightmares. All the fires you've seen over summer in the hills, that's because, well, sometimes people like to light fires on purpose, but sometimes it's accidental. Like this would be if I was to just leave it. So I've cooled it down. Well, it was already cold on the top. I've mulched it over, give it a good dig up, put more water in. I've spread it around, cooled it down. I'm going to wait for that to cool a little bit more. Bit more water. Keep repeating the process, digging down until it's completely cold, and then I'll spread it all out, cover it over, and hopefully it'll look like I haven't even been here. So I will just hang around the woods until it's done. There's worse places to be. So as you can see, a lot of effort goes into making sure it's out properly. I've had to go back and forward to the little stream, cool it down, dig it out, cool it down, dig it out, spread it out. I finally got to the base where the soil is completely cold. There's nothing else there now. I find when you're spreading it around, it's best to use just your bare hands, and that way you're getting a real good feel of the temperature in the soil. if it's too warm for your hands, it's too warm to be spreading around. So, so now I've got a big black hole in the ground. It's time for me to start digging around it, making it look more natural, and then I'll spread it over. It's effort, but if I want a fire, it's how I see. It's what we should be doing, you know. So the next person who comes along and sets up camp, it's all brand new for them. It looks like they're still on their own in the wilderness, and there's no danger. That's the biggest thing. There's no danger of the fire spreading, which causes massive damage. So yes, right. I'm gonna crack on, and I'll be back when it's done. It's all done. I'm quite happy with that. It took a lot longer than I originally wanted to do, but we're in pine forest, and it's not going to rain for a couple of days, so I wanted to be sure it was safe, and I wanted it to look nice. There's nothing worse than turning up somewhere thinking you found a nice camp spot, and then there's a big black hole in the ground where someone's had a fire and not cleaned up properly. So for that little bit of effort, it makes all the difference. And it keeps it safe. You know, I think you've got a bit of a responsibility to be safe if you're having a fire in the woods, because it can spread and get out of hand so quickly, so easily. And that's just shown how deep-seated it is. You know, I've had to dig quite deep, water, mulch spread. It took a long time, whereas somebody who didn't know any different may have just left it and walked off, and then if we haven't had any rain, it could quite easily spread. Like I said, days, even weeks later, it can come back up and spread. So it's a job well done. I'm glad I've done it. After a little bit of rain and wind, no one will ever know I've had a fire there. So it took longer than I wanted to. This whole camp has kind of just been like one big rush, really. I wanted to talk about so much more and do so much more, but it's one of them things. I came out here to refocus and reset more than anything. Talking about that, just quickly before I go, those of you who may be aware that I've got another channel, Old Man Willow's Fisticuffs Club. I'll put the link in the description. It's just about boxing, martial arts. It's just one-to-one lessons. On the back of that, we're doing something for charity, for mental health, suicide prevention. We're going to be doing 1,000 rounds in a week. There's 10 of us in total. Well, there's actually more doing it now, but we're going to do 1,000 rounds in a week. So just to share the message to keep on fighting, because I know people struggle. Sometimes it's hard to push through the next day to see things get that little bit better. So that's the message. Keep on fighting. 1,000 rounds, and we'll be doing that on the 1st of October. Don't feel like you have to donate, even just sharing the message on Facebook. I'll try and put the link in there. I've plugged that. Apart from that, I'm going to pack up now, get myself sorted, and go back down the van. I'll see you next time, probably in the lakes, I would have thought. It's getting to that time of year where it's getting cold. It's all the tourists are going home, and these beautiful places are left alone through the winter, autumn and winter. It's a good time. It's a good time to camp if you're prepared. So I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Blah 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 blah. See you again soon.